think the Browns win this game, and I think they win it convincingly, and they put the AFC North on notice. I think it'll be a pretty high scoring game. Definitely will hit the over. Let's go. Not one, but two. We got two games tonight. It's always dope when we get a Monday night football. I've seen it on Thursday night football a couple times where there's two games, but it's always dope when we get two games Monday night football. We got two division matchups. So we got the Panthers and the Saints. Saints 1-0, Panthers 0-1. And we got the Browns and the Steelers. The Browns 1-0 after a dominant win over division foe Cincinnati Bengals. Steelers 0-1 coming into this game. So we'll start with the Browns and the Steelers. Deshaun Watson is clicking on all cylinders. You got Nick Chubb in the backfield. This Browns team for years has been built to win. They got a good defense. DBU, LSU, Grant Delpit back there. I mean, so many guys, so many talented guys on that defense. Again, Deshaun Watson, Amari Cooper at receiver. I mean, this team has the playmakers. I think the Browns win this game, and I think they win it convincingly, and they put the AFC North on notice. I think it'll be a pretty high scoring game. Definitely will hit the over, but I don't think the Steelers have a chance in this game. What are your thoughts on this game, Deb?
Yeah, I think it might be a blowout. The Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, but I don't want to discount the Pittsburgh Steelers because they're always going to be around. You got Coach Tomlin, who's been in Pittsburgh for quite some time. I got my thoughts about Coach Tomlin right now. I think he should go ahead and just transition out of the head coaching position and go elsewhere. But I digress. We can talk about that at a later date.
Yeah.
But like you said, the Browns have been built ready to win for quite some time. And I would say for the past 3 to 4 years, honestly, I think Baker Mayfield kind of dampened that in a sense, is due to the fact his lack of good quarterback play at that moment. But when you plug in Deshaun Watson with those pieces that they currently have, with the addition of, God, who did they pick up? They picked up a D lineman this offseason. Can't remember who.
Oh, out of Minnesota.
Yeah,
Geez.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't.
Nonetheless, the defense by far is the top 5 defense in the league. You listed off those cornerbacks, strong safety core. Those DBs are solid. And then when you think about just their offense, it's very balanced. You got a rushing attack in Bradley Chubb, and then you got your receivers. You got Jones, and then you got Amari Cooper.
Yep.
Take that into consideration, and you take into account the Pittsburgh Steelers and the lack of offense that they can generate, I think the Browns will come out victorious. So we'll see what happens, man. But I have the Browns winning by at least 2 to 3 touchdowns. I would say 2.
Yeah, and I think the another thing to call out is like when we're talking about the Browns and how good they are right now. This is the number one defense in the league, just slightly ahead of the Dallas Cowboys. Got a top 10 offense in the league in terms of yards per game. So again, just to put it into perspective, it's not the Cleveland Browns that folks are used to seeing, right? Terrible putting it out there. People thought when they had Odell, and they had Landry that they would be able to do something. It was a new look Browns, but Baker Mayfield was at quarterback, wasn't quite enough to take them over the top. Deshaun Watson, besides all the off the field, issues that went down and kind of have scarred or put a black eye on his career. We know who Deshaun Watson is and what he can do and what he's been doing since he was at Clemson. And at the helm of this offense right now, it looks like the Browns are a force to be reckoned with in the AFC. So again, we got to talk more about the Steelers, Tomlin, that whole situation in terms of, you got a coach who getting them to the playoffs is never really an issue. Getting them to over 500 record is never an issue. That mostly leads to them getting to the playoffs. But what does that mean? Because when you look at playoff wins, when you look at just what they've been able to do in the division over the past couple of years, they're definitely on the decline from the Steelers that we saw in the early to mid 2000s. Expect that the Browns show up, show out on Monday Night Football, and put the world on notice in prime time.